Send me your location and ride the vibrations. I don't need nothing else but you.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Nikki here. So today I have a different kind of video. This is going to be how to cut crease for a beginner. It's like a really quick way, something that I've learned, I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. I learned this off Instagrammer called Tefadol. I'm going to leave her link down below. And when I saw this Instagram video of the eye look that she'd created, I was mind blown. I was like, how do I not know this? And do people actually do this? So I've shared with you guys just a really easy way, especially if you've got hooded eyes as well, how to do a cut crease, because I know that it can be painstaking, it can be hard. So if you want to see how I achieved this look, but how to honestly get a really easy cut crease, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm looking a little bit crazy, but the first thing I'm going to do is actually chuck my headband on because I need some concentration. I don't need the hair in my face, up in my face. Okay, so I've already started off. I have done my eyebrows, I've primed my eyes with concealer, and then I've powdered them as well, just as I usually do in every single video, just to get this going, get the ball going. I thought it'd be easier just to go with one eyeshadow palette, so I'm actually going to go with the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, because who doesn't like Huda? Who doesn't like the Huda products? We all do. And if I'm honest with you, this eyeshadow palette cost me a bomb. It was like £56. And I need to use it. I don't use it enough. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with, you want to go with a fluffy brush. This is the MAC 224 brush, and you want to go in with a really, really light colour. So I'm actually going to go in with Eden because the other one's a bit too beige for my liking. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Eden, and I'm going to pop this into the crease and smoke it upwards. You want to smoke it upwards and outwards towards the brow bone to create that transition, that kind of smoke effect, that shadow. You're not really going to see this colour that much, but you need it for a really nice blend. Okay, so I just want you guys to notice that I have actually started off by doing my eyes first. You guys know that I don't do eyes. I always do my face, but when you're doing a cut crease and you want it to be really nice and sharp, especially if you're using glitters, like if you're like anything like me, you don't know, you might just chuck in a sprinkle of glitter in the last minute. So if you're going to do like a glam kind of cut crease eye, I would suggest do your base afterwards. Also, I like to take the shade and I like to kind of just take it all the way down, because I'm going to be wiping all that away and I want a sharp line afterwards. So I'm not being like clean about this. I'm going to take this shadow all the way down. I'm taking it all the way into my inner corner as well, because that's how I like my shadow placed. But don't be too kind of neat with your first application at all. Okay, once your transition shade is down, this is going to be the lightest color, so just bear that in mind. Anything on top of this is going to go darker, so I'm actually going to go in with, I actually fancy a bit of bright orange today because I think it'll go nicely with the green. So I'm going to go in with a little bit of blazing. Now notice that I am switching my brushes over. This is a MAC 217 brush, which is just a smaller blending brush than the 224. I'm going to take this color and I'm going to start popping that into the crease. You can take it up a little bit, but you don't want to take it up too high to lose that transition color. So I'm just going to pop it in my crease and then buff that bad boy out as well. Just notice how I tend to like pack the product on and then I'll go ahead and I'll swipe. If I pack the product on with especially like a bright color like this, it's going to stick a little bit better. It's going to be a little bit more vibrant, and then you can just kind of buff away the edges. Also, I come quite low down onto my lid because I'm not too concerned about that. I'm going to cut it all afterwards anyway, so I'm not looking at any of this down. Now going back into the Huda palette, I'm actually going to mix amber and saffron together using a Morphe M514 brush. Now this is an even smaller blending brush that is a little bit more tapered, and we're going to go right smack bang in the middle of the crease now and take that colour a little bit down onto my lid. Now this is the point in the process where everyone panics. I panic as well because everything looks kind of messy. Until you cut your crease, does it look nice? Honestly, trust me, until you cut your crease will it only look nice. So now I'm going to go in with my darkest shade, and I'm going in with a little bit of Oud because it's the darkest brown in this palette. I don't really like to go in with black, so I'm going to go in with the BH Cosmetics No. 7 brush, and I'm going to pop this, I'm just going to dab it now into my crease and onto my lid. Just dab it so I get intense colour, and then give it a slight swiping motion just to blend it out. Okay, so now that I've laid down the darkest colour, I'm going to be really real with you guys. Cutting the crease is a pain in the backside. I hate it. I don't have a lot of tutorials of like a cut crease look on my channel because I feel like it's a real skill for you to kind of, it's a technique that you need to know how to do it. You need to know the shape of your eyes. When you do it on other people, you need to know their shape of eyes. This technique, I'm not even going to take credit for. This came from Tefadol. I'm going to leave her link down below. I saw it on an Insta video that ABH actually posted on their Instagram page, and I was like, oh my gosh. And since she did it, I tried it out a couple of times. I used it in my last tutorial, but I was like, do you know what? This needs a whole video in itself. Okay, so trust me to have lost the footage. I can't find the footage and I can't recover it. So I'm going to use my footage from my previous video. What you want to do is you want to grab some concealer and apply it to your lid really close to your lash line. And you want this to be creamy as well. Then all you want to do is look up. Honestly, just look up and let the concealer transfer. This is going to create a guideline. And this is where your cut crease needs to go. So it's kind of like joining the dots now. All you want to do is just use it as a guideline and give yourself a half moon shape and create that and draw that out. You want to do that on both eyes, of course, and just using the kind of crease bit as your guideline, taking it all the way like a crescent shape and then filling everything in with concealer. Just fill that bad boy with concealer and you've got yourself a really decent cut crease. And then you just want to make sure that you do set that with a powder. I use the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder in Translucent Light. Just set it so it doesn't transfer anymore, doesn't crease. Now going back to the original video, you just want to take the darker shade. So in the Huda palette, I'm using Oud here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just popping that colour just with this really small MAC Precision brush into the crease. So where the cut is of the crease that we've just made and where the shadow is, I want to put it in between. Don't worry about getting the colour. I'm going to explain that to you guys in a second, but don't worry about getting that colour on to the lid. Just concentrate on it going up towards the brow bone and get a really nice blend and try and get that depth. That's what's going to create that really nice illusion of a cut crease. Okay, so notice how I dab. Like I'm dabbing the product and I'm not too concerned about coming onto the lid. I've gone onto the lid. I'm looking at it from here upwards just to see that kind of blend, to make sure the blend is doing quite nicely, and I want to get that depth in here. Now I'm going to go in with the tiniest amount of concealer and I'm just going to lightly cut back the crease, just lightly on top of the darker area to kind of expose the crease, cut crease for us again. So hopefully you guys can see the difference when I've cut back the crease with the depth, and then obviously where I've not cut it back at all, so you can see that the eyeshadows come like very far onto the lid. Go in with a lid colour. Now I always find if you go in with a lighter lid colour, you're going to see the cut a little bit more, but I'm feeling quite coppery today, so I'm going to actually go in with Celestial to start off with, just as a base colour, and then I think I might chuck some glitter over the top. So I really like this way of working because even when, I don't think that even, but even when I open my eyes, my crease is cut just above my crease a little bit, so you can see that I have a cut crease even when I open my eyes. Okay, so do you know what? I like the colours as they're looking. I was actually going to take a little bit of Cosmo, which is the copper glitter, and chuck that over the top, but I feel like if I do that, I'm going to lose that cut crease. You guys aren't going to get the same effect. I feel like the contrast against light and dark is good for like this kind of basic simple cut crease tutorial. So I'm just gonna go ahead, I've got a cotton pad with some makeup remover on it, and I'm just honestly gonna wipe to the edge of my eyebrow to create a really nice angle so it's really nice and clean. I always feel like this bit is always satisfying. Now depending on how dark you go with that kind of color there, it's always going to give you like a smoked out wing, which I always appreciate. I think that's really nice. Now I'm going to use a little bit of MAC's brush black liner, and I'm just going to actually trace that line and give myself a really nice liner just to tie the whole look into place. Okay, so now that my liner is on, you guys know that I typically wouldn't do liner. I'd probably do my base and everything, then do liner. But we're trying things new in 2018. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my concealer now. This would be my concealer that I would use underneath my eyes. And I'm actually just going to clean up that wing. So we're all nicely prepped for when we do our base. I'm going to be using the All Nighter Waterproof Concealer in the shade Medium Dark Warm. Okay, so I agree with you guys. I look crazy. What I'm going to do is I'm not actually going to do my base on camera because I do it for you guys so many times, all the time in every single video. So I'm gonna just quickly jump back here, do my base, and we'll come back, we'll do lashes, we'll do cheeks, and we'll do lips together, and then you guys can see the final look overall. Okay, so I'm back, my base is on, and do you know what I've realized is that life is better when you've got concealer in your life. Like when I've got concealer on, banging, I love it. So this is just my traditional base that I usually do. It's a generic base that I do in every single video, so you guys can flick through the other videos if you want to see how I achieve that. But now I just want to do a little bit of smoke. I want to finish these eyes off so I can give you the whole look. I'm going to smoke these eyes off. I'm going to go back into the Huda Beauty palette. I'm going to take a little bit of amber and I'm just going to smoke using my 224 brush quite low down on my lower lash line. Now I'm going to take just a little bit of black liner. This is DECAYS 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Perversion. It happens to be my favourite black eyeliner of all times. I've never actually come across one that is so black. I'm just going to pop it in my waterline and then just do my top line as well. Okay, you guys know that I love my inner corner highlights. So I'm going to go back into the Huda Beauty palette. I'm going to take the shade right here called Nefertiti. I can't even pronounce that. But it's that goldish kind of glittery shade. And I'm going to pop this into my inner corner and I'm going to pop this on my brow bone as well. Okay, so I'm going to finish the eyes off with some lashes, but before I do that, I'm just going to go in with my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. Just do a couple of coats of this just to coat the lashes. Now my lashes of choice are actually the KOKO Lashes in Queen Bee. This packet is battered, but you know what? I actually just went through my lashes drawer and I found these. They're absolutely bomb. So I'm going to chuck on the Queen Bees real quick just to finish my eyes off. Okay, so now that the Queen Bees are on, the eyes are complete. I hope you guys really like this way of doing a cut crease. I might as well just finish off the face now, and seeing as we are kind of like celebrating Huda, I thought that I would use a Huda Beauty 3D highlighter palette. I'm going to take this highlighter colour called Tahiti right here, and I'm just going to pop it on to my cheekbones. I'm going to do the centre of my face as well. We all love a really nice highlight, so I'm going to give myself a really nice glow with this. For warming up the cheeks a little bit, I'm going to use a little bit of Hoola by Benefit, just going in with my BH Cosmetics #1 brush and just kind of warming up the skin a little bit. And then for lips, I'm actually going to go in with the ABH lipstick in the shade Staunch. It's a matte lipstick. Love the colour. It's quite a deep colour for my liking, but I think it'll go nicely with the whole look. Okay, so just because this is me and this looks a little bit dark for my liking, I'm going to go in with the NYX Lingerie in Dusk to Dawn. This happens to be one of my favourite colours to lay over the top of a darker colour. It's got that peachy undertone to it as well that you guys know that I just can't get away from. So I'm just going to pop this over the top. And now just to finish the whole look off, I'm just going to spritz myself with a little bit of Max Fix Plus. So that is it guys for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. This is something that I've struggled with for quite a long time. It's like a technicality, it's a skill, it's something that you guys need to kind of practice on your eyes and on other eyes to understand it and understand the eye shape and the eye shape that you're working on. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I thought it would be quite useful. I think it's quite easy, quite quick. It's something that everyone and anyone can do. So let me know down below what you thought. Also, stalk me on my social handles that I'm going to leave on the screen right now. And I love you guys so very much. Please leave me all your requests down below. And as per usual, I will see you in my next video. Love you. Mwah.
Send me your location, let's ride the vibrations. I don't need nothing else but you.